In your quest to become a person of influence, of service, of great leadership, you're probably reading all the latest books, visiting all the important websites, checking out the important blogs, but you get tired of the contradictory ideas and information. You want to own the certainty. I've been where you're standing, and once I learned what I learned, and now teach in the Forge, everything changed. And I want you to have that gift. I want you to be a part of it. So sign up now for the December 2020 cohort of the Badass Agile Forge. I'll see you there. A lot of our track record in agility depends on how quickly you stop repeating common or past mistakes and become one of the people who gets it. Now, how do you do that for yourself and the people that you coach? That's this week on the Badass Agile podcast. Greetings, team. Welcome to the Badass Agile podcast. I'm your host, Chris Williams. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. So great to see you here. Thank you for tuning in week after week. As you do, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Let me ask you, what does it mean to get it? And how do you go about getting it? Well, first, let's take a moment to remember why we're here. To create an elite tribe of leaders who truly serve their clients and communities by doing what matters and what works, relentlessly chasing value and excellence like a badass. There's so many resources out there about what you need to do to be agile, but we're focused on who you need to become in order to lead teams. So let's hammer down those fundamentals to create a unique and powerful force in this industry. And remember, if this helps you, tell your friends. I was doing some work recently with a client, and there was a lot of talk about agility with that client. They're very eager to be agile. They had a desire to get things to market more quickly, and yet it took them over 18 months to get their first release into the hands of customers. That means that over a year after I even started working with them on the product, and active work was actually being done here, they released literally nothing to the public for that year. And in that year, particularly this year, 2020, in which we've experienced so much rapid weekly change in community, in technology, there's been so many adaptations. How do we justify that failure, that practice? How well have they been able to adapt to continuously changing customer demand using that model? How would they have leveraged any of the benefits of rapid user feedback, in-market testing, without following that core fundamental? Release things early and often. Now, this is a problem, I assure you, that's been repeated and repeated everywhere in the world, despite the rising popularity and prominence of Agile. It's a problem that's repeated and repeated by teams and organizations everywhere, every single day. How many times have you been to meetings where the focus moves slowly away from customer value and onto topics of tools or technology, and nobody in the room, not even for a moment, stops to ask, why are we doing this? How can we make this product, this thing we're working on, this time we're committing, super valuable to the customer? Look, put your copy of Start With Why down because you're not reading it. You're not doing the homework. There's an overarching failure to get it. And when I say get it, I mean the fundamentals of agility, the values of living for your customer. And as long as we keep repeating this mistake, allowing for inferior results, we're going to fail to realize the true promise and power of agility if we don't completely destroy its reputation in the process. And when you bring this up, people get super apologetic and, divert their gaze down to their shoes. But here's the reality. It's really great to be aware of our constant struggles to think and do properly. We all want to make room and make excuses for ourselves as to why we don't adopt these fundamental behaviors. But guys, sooner or later, there are no trophies for continuing to stumble on the same problems over and over. Be the one who gets it. Victory in your space doesn't require a ton of innovation. It just requires a willingness to do what needs to be done, which means embrace change and failure. focus on the mindsets that are not working and get busy shifting them. Back up your promises with action. The symptoms of not getting it are always the same. You're doing tons of upfront planning the way you used to. You're spending a ton of time contemplating bold, ambitious scope that requires orchestration across multiple business units and vendors and customers, but never getting stuff to market fast enough. And in the worst cases, we spend so much time keeping things inside, keeping them close to our chest and not putting them out in the marketplace, that by the time we're done, the product is no longer a great fit. It's no longer a clear winner, or worse, someone else has taken the same idea, slipped in sideways, and delivered the thing faster than you. That's the kind of competitive landscape that we live in. Now, do you know why we do these things? Because sometimes, especially in groups, especially when we're on somebody else's dime, we get too afraid to ask questions, or we're so well trained in the right way or the only way to do things. You know, the way we've always done them. We've been taught classical models of how to innovate, how to compete, how to justify investments, the right way to implement technology. We're so trained on these things. We're so committed to the way things are that it makes us completely unable to see outside what we've learned and been taught and practiced, that we may just have missed the point. So what do? It's all about understanding what you can put in the marketplace so fast that nobody else can catch you. Being first still matters. Even if you only deliver 30 days worth of stuff ahead of your competitor, you're still 30 days ahead of anyone who wants to compete with you. So sure, create broad, sweeping plans, but create them so that you can adjust scope frequently. If you need to have a detailed product roadmap, go ahead and have one, but have a sense of which features, functions, and value your customers are going to want first and go build them. That's right, start making things. Resist the belief that putting your stuff out there in increments will somehow allow other people to sneak in and steal your thunder, or that you're going to build things so incorrectly that the consequences will be catastrophic. Here's the truth. Your competitors are out there doing it even if you're not. They're putting stuff out there in small increments. They're getting to market first. And even if you try to hide and keep everything internal until your big bang release date, they're going to be trying to steal your ideas anyway. That's what great competitors do. Don't let them be the ones who are taking the risk and reaping all of the glory. So you need to do the same thing. Get laser focused on putting stuff in the marketplace. Now, how do you make this a thing with your teams, your clients, your organizations? You are going to have to be the one who goes out there and tells them that if you want the benefits of the promise of Agile, you have to make the commitments, you have to shift mindsets, and you have to put stuff out there incrementally and often. And when you encounter resistance to this mindset and this way of behaving and thinking, you have to be courageous and let people know that you are trading some of the potential value of releasing early for some of the certainty and safety that you believe you get by holding things back just a little longer, by not lifting the veil and bringing your value to the marketplace. This we need to change. Make it a condition of applying Agile practices to a given product or project, that you will commit to finding a way to getting value in customers' hands on a cadence. And every time you come up with a reason for why you can't, you have to treat that like a blocker that must be run down, ground down, completely eliminated so that you can be free to build solutions the way they were meant to be built, in a way that is timely and valuable to our customers. Get back to living to put great stuff in the hands of people who pay you to do it. As always, you can find me at badassagile.com or on Twitter at badass_agile. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, stay badass.